Commander Field Army is a senior British Army officer who has responsibility for generating and preparing forces for current and contingency operations. He reports to the Chief of the General Staff, who has executive responsibility for the higher command of the British Army. The Royal Navy equivalent is the Fleet Commander. The RAF's Deputy Commander is a close equivalent of the two positions. The responsibilities of the post holder were exercised through HQ Land Command from the 1st of April 1995 to the 1st of April 2008. For the 1st of April 2008, HQ Land Command, with elements of HQ Adjutant General, became HQ Land Forces. For the 1st of November 2011, HQ Land Forces was subsumed within the new formation known as Army Headquarters. On the 23rd of November 2015, it was announced that the post of Commander Land Forces would be renamed as Commander Field Army as part of the Army Command Review. CFA will have 4 brigadiers working under him: Assistant Chief of Staff Commitments, Assistant Chief of Staff Support, Assistant Chief of Staff Warfare, and Assistant Chief of Staff Training. History and prospects. The headquarters was formed from Southern Command at Erskine Barracks near Fuddleston in 1968 and was initially referred to as HQ Army Strategic Command. In 1972, it became HQ UK Land Forces, and in 1995, it was renamed HQ Land Command. HQ Land Command assumed control of almost all British Army combat and combat support troops on the 1st of April 1995. 3 major exceptions were British Forces Cyprus, the Falkland Islands, and HQ Northern Ireland. In the last of those, the General Officer Commanding reported to the Secretary of State for Northern Ireland for operations in support of the civil power. HQ Northern Ireland was reduced in status to 38th Brigade on the 1st of January 2009. On the 1st of April 2008, HQ Land Command amalgamated with HQ Adjutant General under Project Hyperion and became HQ Land Forces. It moved from Erskine Barracks to the former RAF and Oversight, now known as Marlborough Lines, on the 23rd of June 2010. Commander-in-Chief Land Forces also became the Standing Joint Commander, or SJC, responsible for overall command to Ministry of Defence contributions to national crisis response activities within the United Kingdom. Under a major Army Command reorganisation effective the 1st of November 2011, the Chief of the General Staff took direct command of the Army through a new structure, based at Andover and known as Army Headquarters. Within this new organisation, the rank of Commander Land Forces was shifted to that of a 3-star instead of the former 4-star rank. The post of Commander-in-Chief ceased to exist following the Strategic Defence and Security Review of 2010. The government announced significant changes to the structure of the formations under Land Forces that would be implemented in the years up to 2020. Field Army. By 2020, the total withdrawal of British forces stationed in Germany will be complete, and the Army's operational structure will be formed around a total of 5 multi-role brigades. These will be taken from the 2 brigades currently stationed in Germany under 1st Armoured Division, and 3 of the 4 in the UK under 3rd Mechanised Division. To ensure costs are kept down, the MOD's proposal will be to station units as close as possible to training areas. Regional forces. While the regional forces elements have been retained at brigade level, with all 10 regional brigades remaining as they are, the regional divisional HQs were replaced with a single 2-star regional headquarters at Aldershot known as Support Command from spring 2012. This has been updated in the future plan commonly known as Army 2020. On the 23rd of November 2015, it was announced that the post of Commander Land Forces would be renamed as Commander Field Army as part of the Army Command Review. CFA will have 4 brigadiers under his command, namely, Assistant Chief of Staff Commitment, Assistant Chief of Staff Support, Assistant Chief of Staff Warfare and Assistant Chief of Staff Training. Historical elements of the organization. Divisions and districts. Land Command was initially divided up into 8 formations, each one commanded by a Major General, and several smaller units including the training units and training support units in Belize, Brunei, Canada and Kenya. Land Command was later divided in 2003, under the landmark reorganization, into 2 sub-organizations, Field Army and Regional Forces, that paralleled the Cold War structure of UKLF. Commander Field Army had 2 deployable divisions, Theatre Troops, Joint Helicopter Command, and Training Support under him, while Commander Regional Forces was responsible for 3 regenerative divisions, London District, and UK Support Command Germany. In 2007 it was announced that a new deployable divisional HQ would be established until at least 2011 as a means of meeting the UK's commitments to provide divisional HQs on a rotational basis to regional command in Afghanistan and as the lead nation of multinational division in Iraq. This was based in York and formed around the re-established 6th Division. HQs 2, 4, and 5 divisions effectively used to act as military districts in the UK itself and would only have been able to generate field formations in the event of a general war. These 3 divisions were disbanded in spring 2012 and the component units were transferred to Support Command. British Forces Germany formed the District HQ for personnel based in Germany that are not attached to military formations. London District's most public concern is the administration of ceremonial units and provision of garrisons for such installations as the Tower of London. However, its primary responsibility is to maintain units directly for the defence of the capital. Brigades. The British Army has only 7 genuinely operational, deployable brigade groups, the 6 incorporated in 1st Armoured Division and 3rd Mechanised Division, plus 16 Air Assault Brigade. 3 Commando Brigade, a naval service formation formed predominantly by units of the Royal Marines but with significant Army support, is under the direct command of the Commander-in-Chief Fleet. In November 2007, the Ministry of Defence announced the temporary creation of another deployable brigade, designated as 11 Light Brigade, which commanded the Operation Herrick rotation between October 2009 and April 2010. The numerous other brigades within the new support command would be better described as regional districts whose function is to administer all territorial army units within their area and to coordinate the provision of support to the civil authority if necessary, as well as home defense tasks. An example was the coordination of military support the regional brigades did during the foot and mouth disease outbreak in 2001. The 14 new civil contingency response forces, each parented by a TAR infantry battalion, are also linked into this structure. They form force elements which may be called on alongside regular units by the established chain of command in the event of a request for military assistance by the civil authorities. There are a number of specialist brigades which bring together under a single administrative apparatus several units performing similar functions. There are 2 logistic brigades, 102 Logistic Brigade in Germany and 101 Logistic Brigade, which contain logistic units to support the 2 deployable divisions directly. Additionally, 104 Logistic Support Brigade operates the specialist units needed to deploy a force overseas such as pioneers, movements and port units. These brigades come under the authority of the GOC theatre troops. Under the new Army 2020 plan, the British Army will have at least 3 brigades that form a reaction force, along with other brigades formed from a pool of forces called the Adaptable Force. UK Land Forces formations, December 1989. In December 1989, Headquarters UK Land Forces at Wilton directed field forces through a 3 Stars Command, UK Field Army. Many of the units stationed in the United Kingdom were to move immediately to Germany to reinforce British Army of the Rhine in case of war between NATO and the Warsaw Pact. For administrative purposes, these units were under command of Brigade HQ based in the UK during peacetime. Such reinforcement units are shown in the list below in italics, followed by the higher command they were to reinforce in Germany in brackets. Northeastern District, 2nd Infantry Division, York, 15th Infantry Brigade, Allenbrig Barracks, Topcliffe Queen's Own Yeomanry, Newcastle upon Tyne. 1st BTN, Yorkshire Volunteers, York 2nd BTN, Yorkshire Volunteers, York 6th BTN, Royal Regiment of Fusiliers, Newcastle upon Tyne. 7th BTN, the Light Infantry, Durham. 8th BTN, the Light Infantry, Wakefield. 101st Regiment Royal Artillery, Newcastle upon Tyne. 24th Air Mobile Brigade, Catterick HQ and AMP. 210th Signal Squadron, Catterick. 1st BTN, Prince of Wales's Own Regiment of Yorkshire, Catterick. 1st BTN, Green Howards, Catterick. 3rd BTN, the Light Infantry, Blackpool. 27th Field Regiment, Royal Artillery, Topcliffe. 51st Field Squadron, Royal Engineers, Catterick. 9th Regiment, Army Air Corps, Dishforth. 49th Infantry Brigade, Chetwynd Barracks, Chilwell Royal Yeomanry, Chelsea. 3rd BTN, Staffordshire Regiment, Wolverhampton. 5th BTN, Royal Regiment of Fusiliers, Coventry. 5th BTN, the Light Infantry, Shrewsbury. 5th BTN, Royal Anglian Regiment, Peterborough. 7th BTN, Royal Anglian Regiment, Leicester. 100th Regiment Royal Artillery, London. 5th BTN, Royal Green Jackets, Oxford. 4th BTN, Queen's Lancashire Regiment, Preston. 38th Regiment, Royal Engineers, Ripon. 655th Squadron, Army Air Corps, Ballycully, Northern Ireland. Southwestern District, Allied Command Europe Mobile Force Assigned Units, 2nd BTN, Royal Regiment of Fusiliers, Bulford Camp, Light Roll. 1st Infantry Brigade, Tidworth, United Kingdom Mobile Force, dedicated to the defence of Schleswig-Holstein under LANDJUT. Royal Hussars, Tidworth. 13th, 18th Royal Hussars, Tidworth. 1st BTN, Queen's Regiment, Tidworth. 1st BTN, Devonshire and Dorset Regiment, Bulford. 2nd BTN, the Light Infantry, Tidworth. 1st BTN, the Wessex Regiment, Devizes. 22nd Engineer Regiment, Perham Down. 656th Squadron, Army Air Corps. 43rd Brigade, Wyvern Barracks, Exeter. Guards Channel Ports. 1st BTN, Royal Regiment of Wales, Warminster. Infantry Demonstration Unit. 94th Locating Regiment, Royal Artillery, Larkhill Royale. Wessex Yeomanry, Light Reconnaissance. 6th BTN, the Light Infantry, Bath. 4th BTN, Devonshire and Dorset Regiment, Exeter. Southeastern District, 2nd Infantry Brigade, Shorncliffe. Guards Channel Ports. 2nd BTN, Royal Green Jackets, Dover. Light Roll. 5th BTN, Queen's Regiment, Canterbury. 6th, 7th BTN, Queen's Regiment, Horsham. 2nd BTN, Wessex Regiment, Reading. 5th Airborne Brigade, Aldershot, may reinforce any NATO Command Lifeguards, Windsor. 1st BTN, BTN, Parachute Regiment, Aldershot, 2nd BTN, the Parachute Regiment, Aldershot, 1st BTN, 2nd King Edward VII Throne Gurkha Rifles, Church Crookham, 1st BTN, Royal Regiment of Fusiliers, Canterbury, 7th Parachute Regiment, Royal Horse Artillery, Aldershot, 658th Squadron, Army Air Corps, Eastern District, 19th Infantry Brigade, Colchester, HQ and AMP, 209th Signal Squadron, Colchester, 1st BTN, King's Own Royal Border Regiment, Colchester, 1st BTN, Royal Anglian Regiment, Colchester, 3rd BTN, Royal Anglian Regiment, Colchester, 45th Field Regiment, Royal Artillery, Colchester, 9th 12th Royal Lancers, Wimbish, 54th Infantry Brigade, Prince William of Gloucester Barracks, Grantham, Guards RAF, USAF Bases, 1st BTN, Royal Highland Fusiliers, Cambridge, Queen's Own Mercy and Yeomanry, Light Reconnaissance, 3rd BTN, Worcestershire and Sherwood Foresters Regiment, Newark-on-Trent, 3rd BTN, Yorkshire Volunteers, Huddersfield, 4th BTN, Yorkshire Volunteers, Sheffield, 4th BTN, Parachute Regiment, Leeds, 6th BTN, Royal Anglian Regiment, Bury St Edmunds, 16th Air Defence Regiment, Royal Artillery, Girton in Lindsey, Northwestern District, 42nd Infantry Brigade, Chester, Guards Merseyside Ports, 3rd BTN, the Light Infantry, Blackpool, Light Roll, Duke of Lancaster's Own Yeomanry, Chorley, 4th BTN, King's Own Royal Border Regiment, Lancaster, 5th, 8th BTN, King's Regiment, Warrington, 3rd BTN, Cheshire Regiment, Runcorn, 103rd Lancashire Artillery, Royal Artillery, Liverpool, Scotland District, 51st Infantry Brigade, Perth, Guards the Northern Scottish RAF Bases, 1st BTN, Gordon Highlanders, Fort George, Light Roll, 1st BTN, 51st Highland Volunteers, Perth, 2nd BTN, 51st Highland Volunteers, Elgin, 3rd BTN, 51st Highland Volunteers, Peterhead, 52nd Infantry Brigade, Edinburgh, Guards the Southern Scottish RAF Bases, 1st BTN, King's Own Scottish Borderers, Edinburgh, Light Roll, 1st BTN, 52nd Lowland Volunteers, Glasgow, 2nd BTN, 52nd Lowland Volunteers, Edinburgh, 15th BTN, Parachute Regiment, Glasgow, 105th Scottish Air Defence Regiment, Royal Artillery, Edinburgh, London District, 56th Infantry Brigade, London, Home Defence Household Cavalry Mounted Regiment, Hyde Park Barracks, 1st BTN, Coldstream Guards, Wellington Barracks, 1st BTN, Irish Guards, Chelsea Barracks, 1st BTN, Welsh Guards, Victoria Barracks, 2nd BTN, Grenadier Guards, Caterham Barracks, 2nd BTN, Scots Guards, Cavalry Barracks, Honourable Artillery Company, Finsbury Corps, 4th BTN, Royal Green Jackets, London, 8th BTN, Queen's Fusiliers, Clapham, 10th BTN, Parachute Regiment, London, 101st Engineer Regiment, London, Western District, 143rd Infantry Brigade, Shrewsbury, Home Defence, 1st BTN, Duke of Wellington's Regiment, Turnhill, 4th BTN, Worcestershire and AMP, Sherwood Foresters, Redditch, 104th Air Defence Regiment, Royal Artillery, Newport, 30th Engineer Brigade, Stafford, 71st Engineer Regiment, Glasgow, 72nd Engineer Regiment, Gateshead, 73rd Engineer Regiment, Nottingham, 74th Engineer Regiment, Northern Ireland, 75th Engineer Regiment, Manchester, Royal Monmouthshire Royal Engineers, Monmouth, Wales, 160th Infantry Brigade, Brecon, Guards Welsh Ports 1st BTN, Cheshire Regiment, Chester, Light Royal 3rd BTN, Royal Welsh Fusiliers, Wrexham, 3rd BTN, Royal Regiment of Wales, Cardiff 4th BTN, Royal Regiment of Wales, Swansea, Special Air Service 21st Shash Regiment, Chelsea, 22nd Shash Regiment, Stirling Lines, Hereford 23rd Shash Regiment, Birmingham, 11th Signal Brigade, Stafford 31st Signal Regiment, London, 33rd Signal Regiment, Huyton 34th Signal Regiment, Leeds 35th Signal Regiment, Coventry 36th Signal Regiment, Cambridge, 40 Signal Regiment, Belfast, No. 666 Squadron AAC, Jersey Field Squadron. Current formation. The current structure is as follows: Commander, Land Forces, Lieutenant General James Everard 1st Division, Major General Giles Hill 4th Infantry Brigade, 7th Infantry Brigade, 11th Infantry Brigade, 38th Infantry Brigade, 42nd Infantry Brigade, 51st Infantry Brigade, 160th Infantry Brigade, 102 Logistic Brigade, 3rd Division, Major General Patrick Sanders 1st Armoured Infantry Brigade, 12th Armoured Infantry Brigade, 20th Armoured Infantry Brigade, 101 Logistic Brigade, Force Troops Command, Major General Tyrone Urch 104 Logistic Support Brigade, 1 Signal Brigade, 11 Signal Brigade, 1st Artillery Brigade, Joint Ground-Based Air Defense Command, 1st Intelligence, Surveillance and Reconnaissance Brigade, 2 Medical Brigade, 77th Brigade, 8th Engineer Brigade, 1st Military Police Brigade, Regional Command, Major General Richard Stanford, British Gurkhas, Nepal, Brunei Garrison, Aldershot Garrison, Colchester Garrison, Catterick Garrison, British Forces, Germany, Brigadier Ian Bell, Westphalen Garrison, London District, Major General Edward Smith Osborne, Joint Helicopter Command, Major General Richard Felton, 16 Air Assault Brigade. Commanders: Commander-in-Chief, Land Forces. See article Commander-in-Chief, Land Forces. Commander Land Forces, November 2011 December 2012 General Sir Nick Parker, January 2013 November 2013 Lieutenant General Sir Adrian Bradshaw, November 2013 Lieutenant General Sir Nick Carter, September 2014 Lieutenant General James Everard, Commander Field Army, November 2015 Lieutenant General James Everard.